Hello everybody, I've been quite busy in February and the beginning of March. We've been moving house, but I have managed to fit in a couple of workshops. So there was one in February that was in Amble, and we had an introduction to fair isle knitting, and you can see here the little samples that the ladies made in that workshop. So that was a really nice day that we had there. And then this weekend, just gone, I went down to Ilkley and we had a short workshop this time, a beginner's knitting workshop. We covered all the basics: casting on, knit stitch, purl stitch. We made some little samples. We did a lot of chatting, and the ladies have gone away with some patterns that they're going to have a go at some little blankets, and then hopefully we're going to have a follow-up session later in the year. And now I'm going to talk to you about my next workshop. Hello. I want to talk to you today about my Entrelac and Modular knitting workshop, and just tell you a bit more information about what Entrelac knitting is, what modular knitting is. Apologies for the holding my phone in my hand to talk to you, because I've bought a new tripod, but I've come here to where I'm working to make this video and I forgot to bring the tripod with me, so I'm just making do with what I've got. So I'm going to show you some Entrelac knitting and tell you what happens in the workshop. So got some samples here to show you. I've got some better photographs, so I'll add those in. This is a scarf, knitted using the Entrelac technique. It gives you something that looks like it's woven, and it looks a bit like a patchwork of squares that have been sewn together, but actually it's not that at all. You knit it all. You only knit a few stitches at a time, but there's no joining up. The joining up is done as you're going along by picking up stitches. So if you're somebody who's not very confident about picking up stitches, I think this is a really good technique to try, because by the time you've knitted something like a scarf like this, you've had loads of practice at picking up stitches, and you can see you can just give yourself that little bit of time to try it out and see what works and what doesn't work. So that's an Entrelac scarf. I've got another one. So this is Entrelac, and what I've done with this one, this was Advent project, so it was 12 skeins of yarn, and what it's got in it every now and then is it's got instead of it all being stocking stitch, every now and then it's got another stitch in. So there's got some moss stitch in it there, just to give a little bit of different texture. What else have I got? More moss stitch, rib stitch. So this is a 4-ply knit, and there's a pattern for this that you can download off my website, which also has videos that go with it. So if you want to try the Entrelac technique, those videos are quite useful, because they'll walk you through doing it. So again, I'll put some pictures and some links for that. But with regards to the workshop, what we would do is, so somewhere I've got a whole pile of samples of the swatches that we do in the workshops, but I can't find them just at the minute because I'm in a little bit of upheaval. So I'll put some photographs. I've got photographs, so I'll put them in here instead of so that you can see. So what happens with this workshop? First of all, we do some swatching. So we try out the Entrelac technique by just making a small swatch, so you can just experiment with colours and just spend a bit of time just practicing and seeing how you feel about the technique. Then we do a swatch of modular knitting, which I do have. This is a sample that I've been working on. This is done in Aran weight yarn. So these are just little modular squares. So you start off with one square, a mitered square, and then you join the next square onto it by picking up stitches at the edge of it. So we would make a small sample, a bit smaller than this, in the workshop, probably 4 squares, so that you can try out that technique. And then once you've done both of those things, I've got some patterns for you. So you can choose one of these patterns. You could either have the pattern for this scarf here, or you could have the pattern for this cowl. So this cowl is all Entrelac. You knit one piece of Entrelac knitting and then seam it up to make a cowl. Before you seam it up, you knit an edging onto it. So that's done in 4 different colours of sock yarn. So that's a variegated yarn, and then 2 plain colours. That's it in a different colourway, but you can choose. You could do it all in plain colours, you could do it all in sort of matching, so you could do it all in different shades of pink or different shades of grey. That's just one that I've done in a variegated yarn. And then the other option is this is a modular knit. So these modules are knitted, that's upside down. So it starts off with 1, 2, 3 modules, and then stitches are picked up on the edges, and that joins those 2 modules together. And then stitches are picked up, and then so then you would knit that module there, and then again pick up stitches on these edges and knit that one, and then from then on you're just picking up stitches on the edges and knitting the modules, and then joining the whole thing up, so it's not knitted in the round. Or if you don't want to do either of those, there is also a simpler one. So that is a cowl just made with lots of mitered squares. So it's just squares knitted. This is a variegated yarn. There's no, you're not having to knit that pattern or anything like that. It's all garter stitch. So that's quite a simple one. So if you have 3 100-gram sock yarns, you're going to get 2 cowls out of that. So that's what the workshop's about. It's a day experimenting, playing with colours, playing with techniques. If you want to try both techniques, most people usually do want to try both techniques. You can do that if you want to just try one of them, or so we usually just do squares and Entrelac, but then if you wanted to try the have a little play at knitting these modules, you can do that as well. It's kind of whatever you feel like on the day. So that's what that workshop's about, and it's a fun workshop. I really enjoy teaching that workshop. It's just a nice day, just to sit and knit, chat, play around. So the next one that I'm doing is in a few weeks' time. It's in Amble, at Amble Pincushion, and it's on the 6th of April, and then I'll check the date, but I'm doing it again in September, and that's in Thirsk, at You and Yarn in Thirsk.